Owen, tell me something.
We're back, baby. The Chiefs play this Thursday.
Dahm, that's true. Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Dahm. That's true. Of course, I'm your host of the most, Truman Steam Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined by the bomb.
Boom!
Owen Dahm. Welcome back. That's right. It's actual Chiefs season now. We're actually rolling. We're actually
there.
going.
We made it through the offseason.
No, there's no jokes, no more preseason games, no more preparation. The hay is in the barn.
No more jokes?
I mean, no more. There's more jokes, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Jeez, I got scared.
Yes. Actually, more jokes this year.
Hey.
It's actually, so I would say this is actually the first episode of our new season. And luckily it's Labor Day. So because it's Labor Day, I did a little extra work on the show. And now, Dahm, that's true, has a little bit of a soundboard, Owen.
It does?
Yes,
What'd you add?
featuring such hits as I feel a little weird right now. That's a good one. You like that one? Another one for you. This is life-changing meat. Life-changing meat. Everybody likes that one.
That's a good one.
An Owen one.
We are salivating.
We are salvi.
Salivating.
Oh, salivating. I thought it was salvi.
No, we are salivating.
Okay.
My take currently on the Chiefs. I have picked them
pretty
at
sure-
17-0 because I know ball.
I'm-
That's right. That's a good one. A classic one here.
White guy! Yeah!
That's a crowd favorite. And just for shorter versions of that.
Yeah!
Well, and so far, this is the last one that we have. Well, again, these will be used intermittently. And if you can think of other things that we should be using, or that you think would be funny sound bits, things we say often. There you go. Nice. See, already flubbing it. Very nice. But things that might be also nice to add to it. Let me know. Here's a last one for when I can't pronounce things.
M2 also was 2 am.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's just stuttering. So. All right, but yeah, there you go. So, welcome everybody to the new season, the real new season of Dahm. That's true.
Every time we hear Cooper DeJean makes a play.
White guy! Yeah!
A classic. All right, so we've got that going on. We've got a whole new Chiefs season. They're going 17-0. I already
Obviously.
told you. You already heard on the soundboard, but listen, we're rolling. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. Before we get too deep into this, I do want to thank the patrons over there at patreon.com/disaster. Shout out Joe, Aaron, Skylar, Dylan, Ozzy, and Mailbox Kansas City now open in the Iron District. That was it.
Open for much longer than previously thought in the Iron District.
Very true. If you are watching on YouTube, always like you to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Same with Spotify.
And don't forget to smack that bell.
Yes. Yeah. Turn on alerts. That's right. Yeah.
Imagine somebody who has a job like me turning on the alerts, waking up at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday because they turn the alerts on.
I have heard people say, because Spotify will alert you whenever a new episode, if you are following a show or whatever.
Yeah.
I've heard people be like, oh boy, when I'm on my way to work and that Dahm That's True Dahm That's True notification hits. I've heard that. People have said that. They're like, I didn't get the Dahm That's True notification on my way to work. What happened?
Oh,
So
okay.
hey, you joked, but I've heard that from at least one person.
That's more than zero, I've heard.
Right. Which is, again, that's all it takes. I believe we're going to upload this on Tuesday instead of Wednesday because we had one person ask. Again, we are a small show. If you ask us to do something, we will probably do it if it's within reason and legal and won't get us fired from our jobs.
Yeah, great qualifiers.
Yeah, right. I'd like to make sure. I don't want everybody to say, yeah, you say that you would open mouth gay kiss on the show if I wanted you to. And we might do that still, but
that's legal.
But we would have to think long and hard about it. I would have to get clearance from Tina. So just before we got too deep into that.
Might get Truman fired from life.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the first topic. Normally we would recap the last week's games and stuff and ask questions there, but this week no games played yet.
Not yet.
So I want to just jump straight into the questions. Owen, who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs three-peat?
Besides the Chiefs?
Yeah. I mean, again, as Chiefs fans, I don't think we've ever felt I don't know the last time I felt that we really lost to a team. We talked about that Seahawks game in, what was that, 2018?
Yeah, when
No, it
Russell
was
Wilson had a perfect game.
2019. Sorry, it was 2019. Man, smack the hell out of the mic.
Yeah,
Welcome
when
back,
Russell
guys.
Wilson was just perfect.
Yes. Or that might have been 2018 still. And then
Yeah,
I felt bad about that Packers game. That did feel like Jordan Love could do anything to beat
well,
us.
there was
day.
that Tennessee Titans game where they beat the shit out of us, like
Yes.
27-3 at home.
I didn't watch that game because I was at Disney World.
Yes, because you were downtown with people who don't know ball.
Yes, that's
well
true.
recorded.
I remember like looking at my phone. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, we just got dominated every aspect of that game.
Yes, that's what I heard. So, but other than that, biggest
Other
threat.
than like a handful of games, probably just the usual suspects. I'd say if I was gonna put two teams down, probably the Ravens and the Niners, two teams that have great weapons, great running back, solid defense. If they put it all together at the right time and their quarterback becomes Patrick Mahomes for a brief amount of time,
Right.
they can win. But like the Niners and the Chiefs and the Ravens are all so similar that if you put them in a pick 'em, I'm just gonna take the quarterback who's the most clutch, and
Right.
that's Patrick Mahomes.
Right, that's fair. It's interesting. I think the Texans are a scary team. I know I've also discounted the Texans to plenty of people. I
Sure.
talk about this a fair amount of the time, where I say, listen, if the Texans would have, if the Colts wouldn't have dropped that ball on fourth down, are we sitting here as scared of the Texans or as high on the Texans?
Right. I mean,
I don't
they almost
know.
missed. They barely made the playoffs.
Right. I don't know, but they are certainly a young team with a great quarterback, a great wide receivers with Nico Collins and Tank Dell,
Yeah.
and then they went out and added
They add
big
weapons,
free agent
yeah.
splashes with Stephon Diggs. They added Danielle Hunter
Lost
Sure.
on that one. I don't know.
to a defense that already featured two top 5 picks that have been playing pretty well. Will Anderson Jr. and oh my gosh, I want to say it's Stingley Jr.
Yeah, Will Stingley.
Maybe
Jr.
what is it?
Hmm?
What did you say first name?
Will.
Is it?
I'm pretty
I
sure
thought
it's
it was
Will Stingley Jr.
I wanted to say Derek, but
Derek.
Either way. So
Well, that sounds correct to me too.
yeah, right. They both
It is
sound-
Derek
It
Stingley
is Derek
Jr..
Stingley Jr. I think because I was worried because I was almost getting him confused with Devin Singletary, which is why
A running back.
those names sound similar enough to me that I was like, am I getting guys mixed up? No, Derek Stingley Jr. Yes.
Well, you got me on that one. You
Yeah,
got
two
it.
guys that have been.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
thought it was Will.
again, so a great defense, a great offense, just terrifying to
Maybe
me.
I was thinking Will Anderson, and I was not thinking very far.
Yeah, and a coach, D'Amico Ryans, that already proved he can ball. I mean, he won a
Yeah.
playoff game. He turned a team around in one season.
I don't know. The Texans have a problem, and that's the AFC South is getting better. If the Colts have Richardson the whole year, do the Texans sweep him? I don't know.
Sure, anything could happen there. The
So-
Jaguars, we are low on the Jaguars as we saw in the AFC South preview, but they still have Trevor Lawrence, who a lot of people think is good and could certainly turn around. He's got the arm, he's got the skill set to turn it around.
Right.
An experienced coach in Doug Peterson,
Yep.
in a great situation. Even there in the wide receiver room, they've added Gabe Davis, they brought in Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, Calvin Ridley left, but still, Evan Ingram's still there. I mean, it's still a good Jags team. It's a good Colts team, and it's
Supposed to be a better Carolina team.
no, whoa, wrong South, Tennessee. Yeah, frisky.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
A frisky Tennessee team, perhaps.
Yeah,
but
sorry. Hello. My goodness.
I guess I am worried about the Texans,
thinking
but
Carolina.
we are questioning if the Texans can even get there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what is it, Texans week? Is it early for them or is it late that we play them also?
I think we play them late. Late.
Late, you think?
Chiefs.
I'll say I've got the schedule up here. And rotate through it on
December. So
December.
late.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not December 21st. Oh, we play them in that stretch.
Yep.
I mean, that could be a threat, not to necessarily not necessarily the threepeat, but the 17-0, it could be a threat. That's a tough team to play in a tough stretch of games. So
Yeah, but it's also a tough stretch for them. They also have the 3-10.
That's true. That's very true. Okay.
A lot of teams have that 3-10 this year, which is kind of crazy.
So if you had to pick one team between the Ravens or the Niners or the Bengals, we didn't even talk about the Bengals, but
We don't need to talk about the Bengals.
yeah, especially Jamar Chase isn't going to play. I mean, Jamar, look at me. It is a really bad contract situation they have you in. I would definitely sit out 1 week for sure. I would say, personally me, I'd give it 2 or 3 if I were you, Jamar Chase. I would, because I think that will really prove a point. That'll get that deal done. You can get closer to CD Lamb money. If you definitely sit out 2 for sure. And then let's see where it goes.
I mean,
I want to make sure that we make that point for Jamar.
Unless you think that CD Lamb's better than you, then you can take less money than him, sure.
Yeah. Because the league thinks CD Lamb's better than you.
Yeah.
You know what good wide receivers do? They sit out 2 weeks minimum to make a point. I'd say that.
Yeah.
I would say that, CD Lamb.
I would also say that. I concur. I'm Owen Dahm, and I approve this message.
Yes, very real, very true. So you're not worried about the Bengals? They're kind of falling off there a little bit,
Well, they're just not top of my list.
right?
But definitely the Niners. I mean, the Niners were controlling the Super Bowl for a while.
I mean, yeah, the Chiefs had to dig deep. They had to find something. Patrick Mahomes had to Patrick Mahomes just a little bit. So I feel
Right.
Okay, so your pick. My pick is the Texans. Your pick's probably the 49ers. Let's keep it moving, schmoving, and grooving. Owen, what Chiefs player do you think has the most to prove this year?
Hollywood Brown.
Even with why? Why does Hollywood Brown have the most to prove?
Because everyone thinks he's good, but I think he thinks that he's great. He's on a prove it deal after all. He's on a 1 year, like 1 year, $8 million, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he is still young enough to where if he does well with the Chiefs, he can go somewhere and get paid, or stay with the Chiefs, take a little bit less money, and go for titles. But I assume if I'm Hollywood Brown and I do really well this year, I'd go somewhere for like 2 years, $24 million.
Oh, I mean, the Juju Smith-Schuster kind of situation.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is a great question. It's a good answer. It's hard to say that a guy on a 1 year deal has the most on the line, I guess, on a Chief with this Chiefs team.
Well, I mean, maybe Nick Bolton.
I think Nick Bolton's here. I mean, obviously has been banged up. Already banged up this preseason. Was banged up last year. Missed a couple games. Is also looking for his new contract. I mean,
It does look like the Chiefs are looking towards giving him one because they let Willie Gay go.
that's true.
But Brett Veach loves to draft new defensive players. So, yeah, those would be my picks. Marquise Brown and Nick Bolton. They need to do well this year the most.
Interesting.
In my opinion.
I'm going to exclude some of the obvious ones. Obviously, Sky Moore has the most to gain, and guys like Sky Moore and Felix Anudike-Uzomah have the most to gain by, I guess, doing well. They can silence a lot of haters, a lot of doubters, which there are plenty haters and doubters for both of those guys.
Yep.
Owen included and the Sky Moore haters.
Yep, 100%. Yep, I'm a Sky Moore hater.
Neither of us, because we're both K-State graduates, are Felix Anudike haters or doubters yet.
He's like, what, 22?
Yes. Barely drinking still. So
Yeah, had his first sip of beer during the NFL season last year.
right. So I'm not sure it's his. Like, obviously, people are waiting on a lot from them. How old is
He
he?
had his first legal drink during the playoff push,
Really?
January 24th, 02. So
No.
he turned 22. Oh, sorry, he turned
There
22
you
last
go.
year.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, you did.
never mind.
Yeah, you
Never
did the
mind.
wrong
Whoops.
way. Yeah.
Hello.
But
Did the
still
wrong way.
young. He's 20. He's still 22 now.
And
He'll
most
turn
players are
23
not in the
January.
NFL at 22.
Right. And so yeah, he's still got time to develop. So I don't think he's got the most to prove per
I
se.
mean, hell, what's his face? Stetson Bennett won a championship at 26.
Let me throw an interesting one for you.
Yeah. Players that have something to prove.
What about Trent McDuffie?
What does he have to prove?
Not having L'Jarius Sneed on the other side, obviously it allows him to. He's now covering the top guy.
The number one.
L'Jarius Sneed was covering a lot of the number one guys and shutting them down just from being more aggressive than them. Trent McDuffie, while he does have the All-Pro already, and I believe I would assume a Pro Bowl nod or whatnot, now he is the guy. He will be the guy that travels with them or is the guy that is trying to shut them down. Trent McDuffie also, for last year, he turned on a lot of he forced a lot of fumbles. Still, Year 3, a great cornerback.
Yep.
Still looking for his first interception. Hasn't had an interception yet.
I guess he hasn't, has he?
Which is, it's interesting to see a lockdown corner that doesn't have great ball skills per se.
I mean,
He has great coverage skills. He doesn't have great ball skills.
he hasn't. Well, like we've talked about this, just between you and me before.
Right.
But like, I haven't seen any plays where I'm like, oh, McDuffie should have picked that off.
Right.
Like, they don't throw interceptable balls his way because he's defending the ones that they can.
Right. And they don't throw his way a ton because when they do, because it's one of those where you almost don't want your guys thrown at a bunch because if they're throwing out a bunch, it means that he's letting guys open. And it's
Marcus Peters kind of thing.
yeah, it's like it's great if when the quarterback throws to the guy that he has a low passer rating, but at the same time, I wouldn't even want him throwing. I want more coverage sacks. I want more sacks and those kind of things. So,
well, that's another underrated part of McDuffie last year is that he was blitzing a lot.
Mhm.
So it's hard to get a pick when you're flying, closing the gap at 40 miles an hour.
right. So I think Trent McDuffie has a lot to prove. Here's a sneaky one. Here's one that's going to sneak up, and it's going to happen soon. Questions are going to start to rise. Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco entering year 3.
I'm sure
Obviously, the Chiefs have to make hard decisions when they're talking about paying guys. And Isaiah Pacheco will be going into his 4th year, and I bet he's going to be looking for a contract this offseason.
Yeah.
It's funny, I don't know if this could be our last Isaiah Pacheco season, quite frankly, because here's the situation. I don't think he plays next year without a deal, and I don't think the Chiefs give him a deal. I think the much more likely scenario
You think he sits
is,
the whole season?
what?
You think he'll sit the whole season?
I don't think he would play. I think he would say, I'm going to hold out without a deal, as I would say running backs should, because running backs need to get paid because they could get hurt at any moment.
Yeah.
But if he says, I'm not going to play without a deal, I believe the Chiefs will trade him because I don't think there's any scenario where the Chiefs pay him a market value deal on running back. So I think this is almost a contract year for Isaiah Pacheco. It's the year before the contract year. It's the real contract year where if he still plays for us next year, awesome. But I have a big feeling that this is Isaiah Pacheco's last season, and he's got a lot to prove because he's going to go look for a deal. And listen, we'd love if he could be awesome, so we could trade him and maybe get a 3rd or 4th round pick back. So turn basically a 7th round pick, milk 3 Super Bowl titles out of him, and then trade him for a 3rd round pick would be a great scenario.
Yeah, it would be wild. I mean, obviously, I like the guy. I want him to stay on the Chiefs, but yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't really thought about that one.
Yeah, so I would throw out Trent McDuffie and Isaiah Pacheco. Those are my top 2 with something to prove.
Okay.
Other than, I guess, Mahomes, blah, 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 legacy, yada, yada, yada. You know the whole thing. So let's move on to our 3rd Chiefs question. Last year, we got incredibly frustrated with drops and whatnot. But I would still say by the time we got to the playoffs, the thing we were hammering was turnovers. And we said, every game we said, this is the key. If the Chiefs win the turnover battle, they will win the game.
Yep.
My question for you as we go into this is we're starting the season now. What will be a key in every Chiefs game? What will we say? This was the key.
Drops.
Drops again, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we lost several games off of drop passes. We lost the Eagles game off of drop passes. We lost Green Bay, kind of, off of drop passes. We lost 100% to the Lions off of drop passes.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, Travis Kelce was dropping passes early.
Eagles, you lost to the Eagles on that drop pass by
Right.
MVS deep. Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, can this wide receiver core catch better? Honestly, like if they're not dropping passes, we're 10 times the team.
Yes. Obviously, I think the wide receivers probably have the biggest microscope on them. I think biggest positions that need to step up right now, wide receivers, and then I believe it's the cornerbacks / the secondary. Mostly the cornerbacks. Our safeties are awesome.
Yeah.
And Trent McDuffie's awesome. It's really that second cornerback that's going to be a question. And then it's maybe linebackers just because you have lost Willie Gay.
Yeah.
But I think wide receivers do have the most to play. So I definitely think that drops will be a focus for sure. Because Rashee Rice is a great wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Still drops the ball fairly often.
A little bit, yeah.
Xavier Worthy, obviously, he's gonna be under a microscope.
Oh,
I know
gosh.
during the first couple days of training camp, people were posting him dropping balls. Just because Chiefs fans were worried, and obviously he's under the microscope.
He'll be fine.
Sky Moore is back again for some reason. Anything could happen there. I like the addition of Juju. I think having him back is a huge plus.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Sky Moore is back because he can play special teams.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yes.
Because he can run down the field on special teams.
Because he could be a punt returner. Yes. Because he might be a punt returner this year.
And he was fumbling those too.
But somehow that's also the reason McCole Hardman's here. My GOAT. He's back.
Both those guys annoy me, but they both played great in individual Super Bowls, which is even more annoying. Same thing with Kadarius Toney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we win the Super Bowl without that return.
I know a lot of people said that. Maybe the only
Eagles
reason
won.
they don't win the Super Bowl of Kadarius Toney, because I think even if Kadarius Toney doesn't run that ball back to the 5, I think they still score. Maybe what that did was give you the ability to have less possession instead.
Yeah.
It made the timing right by not having us waste 3 more minutes getting Kadarius Toney down the field instead. So instead, Jalen Hurts scores with 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left, however many it was, instead of him scoring with 1 minute left. Because I don't think 2 years ago's team could have got down the field in 1 minute and scored.
I mean, also, without Sky Moore's return against the Bengals, do we get in a field goal range after the penalty? I'm not sure.
You do forget that he had a good like 20, 30-yard return.
Returned it to like the 50.
They both R.I.P. Never mind. I'm
Listen,
not going to say R.I.P. to Kadarius Toney. I rest him. I wish him no peace being on anybody else's team.
This is why we're not talking shit though, because they
Right.
were important players. They pissed me off a whole bunch, but they
Right.
were at one point Super Bowl touchdown catchers,
I would say so. Yes.
like MVS. Man, he never did anything wrong. Of course, dude. All he did was catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's all I remember him for. Trust.
It's the Tyrann Mathieu, it's the Frank Clark, it's a lot of those guys. Listen, you come in and you win us a Super Bowl. Thank you. We'll see you later. Frank Clark, great playoff performer.
Awful in the regular season.
Awful in the regular season, but what he will be remembered for is the first Super Bowl for sure
Oh yeah.
in 2019, and then also having the second most playoff sacks of all time now.
That's wild.
That is crazy to think that Frank Clark has that. And I think, he was pretty monumental in that Eagles game. I want to say he had a sack or two, or in that Bengals game for sure. He got there. Yeah. In the game before. So, and that's all I'll remember about. Then when you look back at the Frank Clark trade deal, nobody calls that a bad trade deal. We gave up a first-round pick for Frank Clark, but he won us a Super Bowl. It's the same Tyrann Mathieu. Who knows how good of a deal Tyrann Mathieu's deal was, but he won us Super Bowls. He's good. Good in my book. 2 great signings, 2 great trades. Doesn't matter what he did. Juju Smith-Schuster, 900 yards, pretty good. Fine.
Man, was Rasheed
won us
Rice
a Super Bowl.
Rasheed Rice wasn't a first-round pick, was he? He was a second-round, right?
Second-round pick. Yep. What?
George Pickens was there.
Who cares? Who cares now?
That's true.
Do you think George Pickens is better than Rasheed Rice? No. Sorry, you've got years mixed up. We got Sky Moore instead of George Pickens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, we'll remember Sky Moore for being bad.
I'm saying we could have had George Pickens instead of Sky Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say Rasheed Rice? I meant Sky Moore.
You did say Rasheed Rice. Yeah.
But Sky Moore was also a second-round pick, right?
Yes, Sky Moore was a second-round pick. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure George Pickens was there by the time that came back around.
Let me confirm this while you continue on.
Yes. So, because I wanted George Pickens because I wanted them to go wide receiver in the first round, but they instead went Karlaftis and McDuffie, and I would rather have both of those guys than George Pickens because I think George Pickens went I want to say 53 or something like that. But
I am confirming.
Okay, I'll let you confirm. So what will be a key? I guess we've kind of drifted away from the point of what will be a key in every Chiefs game this year. I think Patrick Mahomes. This sounds dumb. Patrick Mahomes throwing more touchdowns than interceptions in any game, I think, should win it. Does that make sense? Or I guess turning the ball over.
Okay, no, we could not have had George Pickens. He was 2 picks in front of Sky Moore. I apologize.
I bet they could have traded up to get him, though.
Probably.
Brad Veach loves a 2-pick trade up.
Yeah.
Loves to get rid of a 7th rounder.
Looking at all the wide receivers after him, man, I don't know these guys' names. Looks like he was the best wide receiver left on the board, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess Khalil Shakir
It's funny how fast those guys drop off, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's like I look at a lot of that and think that's crazy. Where we talk about like we are all very critical of Felix Anudike Uzama right now. But if he doesn't hit, you got to understand that like still like 40% of the guys that get drafted in the first round, 50% at least of the guys that get drafted in the first round do not get another contract with that team, you know?
It's wild.
And I bet 40% of them at least don't even get a second contract with any team, you know?
It's crazy when you go back through a draft class and you're like, man, I don't know these guys' names, and they're third-round picks.
Right. And that's the thing, like the Chiefs, I mean, Brett Veach has probably hit on over 50% of his draft picks, and that's insane. That's incredible. So, again, we've drifted too far away of what will be a key in every Chiefs game this year.
Wide receiver play for me.
Wide receiver play for you? No drops. If the Chiefs don't have any drops, do you think they win every game this year?
I mean, they'll have a much better shot. But if this wide receiver core lives up to what I think they can be, Chiefs are like consensus number one like the whole year.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
When you have this defense with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and then your wide receiver core is top 5.
Yep. I would say anytime the secondary gets an interception, we should win that game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because I think they'll be buzzing at that point.
Okay, your key is the secondary then.
Interceptions from the secondary. Your key is no drops from the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Which I believe brings us to the first of many this year. A game preview.
Whoa.
Week 1 game preview. Chiefs versus Ravens. Owen, I know you've been critical of the Ravens.
The lights, they're so bright. Only 14 points on offense.
The Ravens
At home.
The Ravens do better in the regular season.
Yep. Which terrible team do they play early this year so we can put Lamar in another MVP conversation? Let me look back at their schedule.
Terrible team early in the season?
Yeah.
Interesting. Great question. My general belief, I'm not.
Here we go. Perfect.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In week 6, they play the Commanders. Lamar is throwing 4 touchdowns in that game.
Yep, that'll keep him in the MVP race. But to be fair, it's hard to win back-to-back MVPs. You have to basically not only outperform all your competitors, but outperform what you did last year.
Well, for Lamar's case, he needs to ask quarterbacks to once again have another down year.
That's true. True, too. True as well.
Please don't pass over 4,000 yards, please.
I feel like we're due for a Mahomes MVP season, I will say. We're a little overdue. Yeah, I think about every 3 years, I think Mahomes should have
I think we're due for a position player MVP.
No. Yes. Are we overdue for a precision player MVP? Sure. Yes. Will we get one? No.
Like maybe a sneaky Myles Garrett MVP kind of action.
No way. They would have to. I mean, TJ Watt broke the sack record.
And he didn't get MVP.
He didn't even sniff MVP.
Yeah, well.
Didn't even get a little of it.
Well, you know.
What?
He's a Republican.
White guy! Yeah!
Oh my God. TJ Watt?
Yeah, man.
You're thinking of Nick Bosa.
TJ Watt is also white.
But he's not Republican. He's not outspoken. He might be. But
He's from Pittsburgh, man.
He's not from Pittsburgh. He's from Wisconsin.
Ah.
Wisconsin is a swing state.
Enough about politics. I'm just joking. I have no fucking clue what his politics are. But yeah, a position player broke the sack record and didn't even sniff MVP.
Yes. So do I think it's position player? No, I don't think so. But that
no one's having
said,
an AP year.
I don't. What?
No one's having a AD/AP, whichever nickname you call him.
It is weird that Adrian Peterson's nickname was AD. That always fucks me up. I know it's because he's all day or he's
right.
You know, but to say like, oh, his nickname is AD for a guy whose initials are AP was always confusing to me.
I mean, it's because if you're an old, you call him AD, and if you're a kid, you call him AP.
I would say so. Yeah, because nowadays nicknames are just they're initials.
No one gets like Hollywood Brown is like the only one.
Yeah, Hollywood.
In recent memory,
Hollywood
that goes by nickname. I guess Sauce Gardner.
There's a couple that you don't even think about. My favorite, Pig Brown for Mizzou back in the day.
Pig Brown.
His name was Pig. They called him Pig Brown. Like on like even like his player card, it said Pig. Can't remember his real name.
Anyway, back to Chiefs versus Ravens preview.
Yes.
Welcome back to season 5 of Dahm. That's true. We are back in full form. We're never gonna not do this. But yeah, my main focus of this game is, are the Ravens prepared?
I mean, I think the Ravens have gotten worse.
You think so? They've added Derrick Henry.
So I think losing Patrick Queen is a huge
They've
loss.
lost some tackles as well.
Yeah. I don't see how they got that much better outside of Derrick Henry, and I'm not sure a running back moves the needle that much in today's age. But if anybody could do it, it's Derrick Henry. But also, it's Derrick Henry with a metal foot in his plate, or
Yes.
metal plate in his foot,
It's also Derrick Henry against the Chiefs.
which he's bad.
Not very good.
He's been bad against
The
us
fear
before.
of Patrick Mahomes that Patrick Mahomes instills in a head coach
Fear. Yes, I would say. Yes.
makes you stop running the ball. Scared. What happens if we eat too much clock? And Patrick has a whole minute left.
And I think the Chiefs' running attack is going to be deadly. That Roquan Smith was on. I don't know if you saw the interview where he said, "Oh, we need to stop the run against the Chiefs and turn the Chiefs one-dimensional." You think the key to beating the Kansas City Chiefs
Is making Patrick
is
Mahomes to the ball.
making Patrick Mahomes beat you? I don't know if you know this, but he beats people kind of a lot. If you key on the run against the Kansas City Chiefs,
We are salivating.
we are salivating. Honestly, dude, we are going to be all over them. We're going to be in that ass. We are going
Yeah,
to be.
I'm excited.
over
It's
it.
gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good match. It feels like week 1 when we were like at the Ren Fest a couple of those years ago.
Oh my god,
That was
wasn't
annoying.
week 1, but that was like week 2 or 3.
Yeah,
against the Chargers.
the Browns.
No, that was against the Chargers.
Oh, when we were at Ren Fest.
I was at Worlds of Fun opening day against the Browns when we did play the Browns. I was at Worlds of Fun, like following along, like like
That
just
game was
watching
wild.
on my.
It feels like it's gonna be
ESPN.
that kind of wild game.
Okay. I think it'll be a good
It feels
game.
like a CEH kind of fumble game.
I don't think it'll feel like it did. Oh God, what was that? That opening against the Texans, where the Texans just had no juice.
Yeah, where we just
2020. That was
destroyed
the
them.
2020 season.
Yeah.
Where Clyde did rush for 100 yards because they gave him 28 carries or whatever.
Yeah,
because
because it was like slightly raining and the middle was open the whole game.
yeah, and he wasn't super efficient, but we just ran the hell out of him because we had just won the Super Bowl and then drafted a running back in the first round.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a competitive game. I feel like we're in for like, remember that Bucks Cowboys game to open the NFL season? What Tom Brady's first game in Tampa Bay. That it was a really exciting Cowboys Bucks game.
Yeah, I'm kind of remembering it. Yeah.
It was like 33-28 finish, something like that.
Right, that sounds right.
I feel
yeah.
like we're in for a super entertaining NFL.
Yeah,
opening game.
I think this game comes down to the fourth quarter, and it might even stack the box if you dare. Comes from the steamroller. I just saw that.
Yeah, honestly.
I think it's very interesting if. I think it comes down to the fourth quarter for sure. I think it comes down to the last 5 minutes. I'm not sure it comes down to the last 2 minutes, if that makes sense.
You
I
think,
think
you
the
think a team
Chiefs-
kneels out the clock? You think?
I think the Chiefs go down, kick a field goal. I think they take the ball. I think Chiefs end up with the ball somehow. Or if the Ravens get the ball, I think the Chiefs get a stop. I think they score, but I think it's a field goal because I think they're still. Man, I worry about the red zone offense a lot. Even in the preseason, I know we talk about this plenty where we say that we think Andy Reid saves in the regular season saves plays for the postseason and doesn't bring out his best red zone plays in the regular season.
Oh, absolutely.
And obviously that is going to be hyper even more in the preseason. But the preseason red zone offense did make me, it feels a lot like these Andy Reid teams say what they have been prolific offensively. What they have never been prolific at is scoring inside the red zone.
Yeah, we're really good at scoring from yard lines 21 to 50.
Yes. But once we get inside that pesky
It gets
20
weird.
yards and in, we get weird. We get very odd. And we kick a field goal way too often, even though we have the best quarterback in the world.
I'll tell you what, though. One thing that's different is Sky Moore is not your wide receiver 3 anymore.
That's true.
Now you have Rasheed Rice as wide receiver 1, where he should have been.
In this first game, it should be Juju, I think, would be your wide receiver 3. It might be Christian Watson even.
Justin Watson. It's back.
Am two also what or was
Yeah.
two.
Yeah,
Am
fucking dude. We honestly we'll just have to turn in. We need to just do the soundboard of me saying Christian Watson, and then you go no Justin Watson. We just need to just play that. That needs to be a soundboard clip on itself. So
Yeah, sure. But yeah, Justin Watson, wide receiver 3, sounds great to me. You go Rashee Rice. I mean, honestly, this sounds fine to me. You can tell me how this sounds to you in terms of wide receiver lineup. You go Rashee Rice 1, then you go Justin Watson 2, and then Xavier Worthy 3 for this week 1 because Marquise Brown.
Xavier Worthy in the slot, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, I think Xavier Worthy's the slot. I like when Hollywood Brown comes back, I think it's just Hollywood Brown on the outside, Rasheed on the outside, and then now it's Xavier Worthy in the slot.
It might even be Juju over Worthy right now, which that's still better than last year.
So I have heard that Juju will also kind of spell Travis Kelce in some of those sets, where Travis Kelce would line up wide and then run his Travis Kelce kind of route. Juju instead will kind of take over some of
I'm
those
fine
routes.
with that. He's a good route runner.
Well,
he's not a fast guy, but him against a linebacker.
But what he's great at is the same thing that Travis Kelce is great at, and I think we even talked about it. I'm not even sure we talked about this on the show, but what Juju is great at is the same thing that Travis Kelce is good at. They are good at getting to the middle of the field, finding the soft spot in the zone or the coverage, and settling down and getting 10-yard or having a 10-yard essentially just kind of safety valve for Mahomes.
And
a guy that's going to get past the sticks, get there, and then get the ball and maybe make one guy miss and get an extra 5
Yeah, and you
yards
know what the
afterwards.
Chiefs, where the Chiefs used that a lot last year?
Where?
In the fucking championship game against the Ravens.
Yes, and it's huge in the red zone. Having a guy that can, and a guy in Juju that can do that, and a guy and Kelce that can do that, and I think you put both those guys in the red zone. I think that does help you in the red zone.
I'm very happy with the Juju signing. He's the not Charcanter Quest, but oh my good lord, the Chris Conley that I've been begging the Chiefs to have at like wide receiver 3 through 5 spot.
He's kind of this year's Carlos Dunlap for me, where I'm like I remember it was what was that 2 years ago when we signed Carlos Dunlap? I was like, that's how you win a Super Bowl. Like I was like, this is the cherry on top for me.
Yeah, because he's plugging a very specific hole that you would like to have filled. It's a luxury spot, but if you do get that luxury spot filled, it frees up a lot of other stuff.
Yes, getting Juju here is that cherry on top for me. 2 years ago, Juju was the best wide receiver in here. Now he comes back to Kansas City and gets to be the 4th best wide receiver or the 5th best. And that shows not only that, obviously he's gotten older and whatnot, but it shows that the Chiefs wide receiver room now has gotten better and has more options. And now you bring a guy that has proven success with Mahomes, bring him in as your 4th guy.
All right, do you have a score prediction for this game?
I do. Not. Well, what's your score prediction?
I think it's going to be low scoring again because I think both defenses are good. And this is really because Andy Reid's not going to trust Xavier Worthy yet because that's for some reason he hates rookies. So Xavier Worthy's going to be like wide receiver 7.
I bet Xavier Worthy has a surprising amount of snaps.
We'll see. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, we haven't drafted a first round wide receiver yet, and I think because we didn't really keep we kept Karlaftis a little bit in wraps, but then we had him in by the end of it. Trey McDuffie immediately started pretty much.
That's true.
Who was our first rounder last year? Do we have a first rounder last year? Oh, Felix. Okay, well,
doesn't count as a first rounder.
No.
He's a future pick.
And then otherwise, we normally trade away the first round picks. So I think I think we haven't seen what Andy Reid is going to do with a first round pick like this.
All that being said, though, I'm like 20-14 Chiefs here.
Oh, ew.
I know.
What?
I know.
No.
I think it's gonna be yucky.
No.
I think it's gonna be yucky.
That's never what these games are. You know what I'm saying?
It would never be 17-14, anything like that. You wouldn't think?
It wasn't even 17-14, right? It was 17-10? 17.
It was 17-14.
Did they eventually score a touchdown?
I swear it was 17-14,
I think it was
man.
17-7 even.
No, it was not 17-7.
It was 17-7 whenever we punched out that ball at the goal line.
Dude.
You know what? By the way, speaking of winning cures all ails, do you remember I didn't even remember that McCole Hardman got that ball punched out in the Buffalo game at the goal line.
Oh my, yeah.
I totally fucking forgot about that because it just doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. To think how you felt in that moment versus how you feel that you don't even think about it, barely remember it now. Steamroller has 28-17 Chiefs. I think
You're
that's
right, dude. It was 17-10.
It was.
Why am I
17-10?
remembering 14?
because you assumed they were going to score, and then they got that Zay Flowers got that ball punched out, and also we had that interception, and the Chiefs still needed that first down at the end to win the game by MVS, classic MVS.
The back ball.
Dude,
My goat, by the way.
that is the one great thing that MVS can do. That's
Catch
you know
that
when
ball.
MVS is falling backwards onto his back and the ball's coming into his
100%
chest.
catch.
Always a catch for him. I wish he would just do that every time. I wish he would fall down and
Not
try to
anymore.
catch a ball.
Now I hope he drops it every time.
Right. Oh yeah. Which he will. I mean,
Okay. So finally, I'm still going 2014. I think it's gonna be ugly.
okay. So here's how I think it comes down. I think either the Ravens start with the ball and they go there's a stop by the Chiefs defense. We're all riled up. The Chiefs go down there, or the Chiefs get the ball first. And I think either way, I would bet money that the first score of the Chiefs season is a field goal. I bet they get stalled out in the red zone, like we were saying.
Dude,
like, that's how we got it.
I have great news for you. You could absolutely place that bet.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go find that bet. Whenever you're getting your parlay together, I'm gonna find that bet and see if I can place that bet.
First score is a field goal.
Yes.
I'm sure you can on ESPN bet.
Yep. And then otherwise, I bet that's on DraftKings too. Or I have all my money in FanDuel right now, so I got to figure that out.
Boo! I don't like FanDuel. They make me reset my password every 2 days. Boo!
Oh, boo! They make my account safe. Boo! I hate.
Boo!
that.
Just set a
I
real
hate when
password.
somebody who has my bank
Just set
account
a
information
just
makes
set
my
a
account
regular
safe.
ass password with your Face ID on your fucking iPhone.
I do. It actually hasn't been even making me do the verification code lately, which is odd.
Yeah, FanDuel made me do that every time. So yeah, fucking.
So I think Chiefs go down there, kick a field goal, and then I think they get another stop, and then I think they score a touchdown, and then I think Ravens score, Chiefs score, Ravens score, Chiefs score. So I'm thinking it's one field goal, 4 touchdowns.
For the Chiefs?
Yep, 31.
Holy shit!
31.
What?
And I think the Ravens, I think it's 31-21. I think the Chiefs, I think it's Chiefs go up early. They're up 10-0. Ravens score. Halftime, we're looking at 17. We're looking at 17-7. And then the Chiefs score 2 more in the second half. And the Baltimore scores 2 more in the second half.
Okay.
Scores 1 late. Chiefs are holding the ball 28, or what is it? It'll be 24-21. Chiefs have the ball. Go down there, score touchdown, put it out of reach.
Vegas is putting the over-under at 46.5.
Love it. Love the over. Love
Over there.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. 6 touchdowns in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. But
Man.
yeah, give me 31-21 Chiefs, and you have 20-14.
2014. Yeah.
Steamroll's got 28-17 in chat. So there you go.
It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be good and fun. We'll see.
I think it'll be a fun game that the Chiefs, I think that we'll look back on. I think it'll feel close, but I think you will always kind of feel like the Chiefs are going to win this game.
I have a feeling that this game might be a less close than the score tells you kind of game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like the Chiefs, like for my scenario, Chiefs are leading 20-7. Ravens
yes.
score a touchdown with 25 seconds left, kind of thing.
Or score it with like 2 minutes or 2:15 left, and the Chiefs technically have to go down there and get a first down, but they easily get one, and then they just run out the clock in 2014.
Yeah,
I can see
something like
that. And that's what I'm kind of seeing like with this one, where it's like Ravens score to make it 24-21 with like 4 or 5 minutes left. Chiefs score touchdown in the last minute, and it really is a party at that point where everybody's celebrating.
It's a party. It's a
and then they
party,
just
it's a
kind of
party.
shut down the Ravens there at the end.
I don't hate it. We'll see. We'll see who's right.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. All right. So let's do our NFL segments. Normally we'll have a little bit more, but since there isn't a ton going on right now, typically in years past we either done the AFC South team of the week because they are dirty chaos.
Yep.
Last year we did the NFC South team of the week
Because they were terrible.
So my question this year for you, Owen, what NFL division do you think will be the bad chaos division?
It's
this
still
year?
the NFC South, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
No great teams there. Although Atlanta could be good.
Yeah, they overpaid Kirk though.
Sure.
Okay, the only
here's
the
a sneaky
only
one.
other division I think could be the shitty bad division is the NFC West.
What? No, why?
Because the Seahawks are going to be awful, and I'm standing on that.
Okay.
If Arizona doesn't gel like I think they're going to gel, they'll be bad too.
Yeah,
Then
so you're high on the
Giga billion-year-old Matthew Stafford's playing for the Rams.
Okay.
He's one hard hit away
Sure.
from having just a terrible season.
Yeah, he could injure that.
And then the Niners are going to come off the Super Bowl hangover.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And they employ a janitor at quarterback who's going to get found out.
The Eagles barely even made it back to the playoffs.
The NFC East is going to be good.
I think the NFC East is going to be bad. That was going to be my pick. Was that I think the Cowboys have been, always have a great record, but are bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never a team that when the Cowboys are getting to the playoffs, no real person is picking Cowboys to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Cowboys might have fantasy brained me.
Yeah, right. The Eagles, I think, I don't know if I trust Nick Sirianni anymore.
And maybe
and
not.
Lost Jason Kelsey.
How many games in a row did they lose to end the season?
Oh God, I'm not sure. I think they won their last game of the season, but they lost some like 7 or 8. Man, it's just, because they were like 10-1 after they beat the Chiefs,
Right.
and then I think they ended up being 10-7.
We did end up laughing, by the way, Sirianni.
Oh yeah, I don't hear you laughing anymore, Chiefs fans.
We did end up talking about, just so we're aware.
Fucking moron. That's. It's the same thing with K-State fans.
The thing
I
was
was telling everybody K-State fans were talking shit after Jalen Daniels threw that pick, and I was like, they're like, wow, I can't believe Jalen Daniels threw a pick to Lindenwood. I'm like,
who would say that, dude?
I was like, I wouldn't start this conversation before you see Avery Johnson play, because there's very certainly he could throw a pick, and he did. And it's just like, neither of those picks matter at all in the grand scheme of things. And obviously, we're both just biding time until those teams play each other. But still, it's just like, not great. So,
Okay.
But-
So you think the NFC East is the bad chaos division? I just don't see how.
I think that two of those teams get propped up by the other two teams being terrible. I think
the
the Giants are going to be awful.
The worst division in football is the NFC West, or the AFC West, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
It's the Chiefs.
The Chiefs might be the chaos. The AFC West might be the chaos bad division, with the Chiefs mopping up everybody, and then
Yeah, but
everyone
that
else
just-
being chaos bad.
That's not chaos bad, because we're not going to pick an AFC West team of the week.
Then let's just keep it on
Because
the
the
let's,
Chiefs
let's
are
be real and just keep it at the NFC South then.
I think you're right, but just for the sake of argument, I wanted to pretend like I.
What about the AFC South? What if the AFC South regresses and the Texans aren't that good?
I think the Texans are going to be those guys. I think it's going to be very similar to the AFC West and the AFC South this year. The NFC North could be that if the Lions go back to kind of lioning,
They won't.
and Jordan Love isn't as good as I think.
He is going to be that good.
And
As much as it pains me to admit that I was wrong about Jordan Love, he's kind of that dude.
I think Caleb Williams also going to be good.
Yeah,
That could be a just sneaky good division.
it's just the NFC South. We can move on. It's the NFC South. Derek Carr's starting quarterback there. If the line isn't good, Bryce Young's going to get run over again.
That's right.
Kirk O'Chains is being paid $1 billion in,
Old Kirk O'Chains.
and then what's the Baker Mayfield and aging Mike Evans.
Yep.
I don't even know who their tight end is.
Cade Otton still, I think.
Don't know,
That makes sense. Sounds like Cade Otton, doesn't it? I don't know.
dude. I think that division is a shoe-in for the worst again.
Yeah, that's probably.
I was trying to have a hot take here, say NFC West. Man, it's the NFC South. It's just the NFC South, man.
I think you're. Oh, all right. The tight end is Cade Otton.
Cade Hutton?
Cade Otton.
Otten. Yeah.
Who? That's who it's been for. It's been that guy.
Cool, man.
NF-
Good for him.
NFL fantasy football team owners know his name from panicking on. You're like, oh my god, I got to pick a fucking tight end for 1 week.
Yeah,
Yes.
your backup tight end in the second last round. Hey, by the way, Owen fantasy football tip for you. Okay, 3-time champion, actually 4-time champion if you count other leagues.
Shut the fuck
Um,
up, dude.
Truman 0-time champion. In your last 3 picks, actually we can save that for a pop culture section. I'm teasing you. You have to wait.
Ooh, you got me. Ooh, I feel a little weird right now.
You're gonna have way too much fun with that
I
soundboard.
know that one especially. Yeah,
Ooh, I feel a little weird right now.
it's life-changing meat. That's a good one.
When someone's just glazing somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely got to have a doing tricks on it.
Yo, he's doing tricks on it.
Right. I don't want to inorganically get any of these sound bites, but I just, as sound bites
could.
come up, yeah. No.
It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
That's a sound bite right there, by the way.
That actually, you actually should clip that.
That's absolutely a good one. Send me the timestamp. 49 was
30,
that 49:30. There you go.
Yeah.
See,
This is our podcast.
This is a little peek behind the curtain right there of us sending like, oh hey, clip that. All right. That being said, after you do that, Owen, it is time for you to send me, for you to lay out Owen's 5-team parlay.
Okay,
of the
I'm
week.
feeling good about this one, boys. The
need
first
you to
one of the year.
Put it in on your own phone.
I already did.
Because I'm going to be over here trying to find
Alternate odds.
No, for the Chiefs' first score to be a field goal.
All right, I've already made it, guys. This might be the most confident I've felt about one in a while. I'm feeling good, and it's big money.
Didn't you hit first week of the season last year?
It was like first or second week.
Yeah,
We'd have to go check. It was pretty close to the. It was.
I'm pretty sure it was first week because we were at. I think it was second week because we were at Peas during the day.
Okay, I managed to get a total odds plus 1864.
Oh, there's a no sweat bet. Oh fuck yes, I'm totally betting this, dude. Hold on, what's my no sweat bet worth? Hold on.
Ooh, let's see.
So there you go. FanDuel has a no sweat bet, not sponsored. Mine is worth $5.
Could step up.
Normally, it is different depending on how much you spend.
Listen, FanDuel, if you hear this, I would love to do the FanDuel Owens 5-team parlay of the week. I'll take back everything I said.
Dude, on the home screen, the Owen Dahm 5-team parlay of the week. Dude, it would be.
Everyone would be like, "Yo, he's so smart."
Listen. Our goal is to get big enough that we can just go to a bar and offer to record in there, and that would be like something we could do.
That'd be cool.
That's our first goal. The long-term
First goal's
goal
a little bit
certainly for you to open up FanDuel and see Owen's dumbass face on the Owen's 5-team parlay of the week. Yeah.
That would be
Go
amazing.
like Owen like Gronk is on there. Where he's just like yeah, absolutely. So
Okay,
all right.
I managed to get a parlay, Truman, plus 1864 total odds, and I was able to find it with 4 favorites in there.
Chiefs first drive result, field goal attempt.
What's that at?
I could parlay that with Ravens first drive result, punt, and I could parlay that with Chiefs first drive result, field goal attempt. Oh.
Just both of those?
Yes. Both of those plus 879. I'm putting a $5 on that one.
No sweater?
Or a no sweater $5
Not bad.
to win $44. $43.99 specifically.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
There you go. So if you guys want to go to FanDuel, bet Chiefs first drive, field goal, Ravens first drive, punt. Parlay those together. Use your no sweat token, $5 to win $44.
If the Chiefs house the first kick, does that count as a drive?
I hope not.
Because that would be the funniest way to lose.
So.
That would be the funniest way to lose a bet of all time. Okay, so
Yeah,
first
with
parlay.
with the new kickoff, the NFL would love that. First official of the new kickoff style, and it's Sky Moore down the sideline. My scrote, dude. That'd be crazy, Sky Moore.
That would be upsetting. I'm not gonna lie.
Or even McCole Hardman. Everybody would be like, the
prodigal son returns.
No, because he had the Super Bowl winner to end last season, and he opens up this season with the kickoff return.
10-5 touchdown,
Kansas City.
That would feed families for generations.
Yes. Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yes.
First 5-team parlay of the year.
Okay.
Plus 1864 odds with 4 favorites.
Hey,
in
shout out 1863 Manhattan. I know it don't exist anymore, but shout out.
there. All right, first choice.
Okay.
Chiefs money line. As always.
All right. Yeah.
As always, all of these bets are money line.
Here, I'll give you reactions here as we go.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go down. Oh, yeah, I'm just going down in dates played and how your parlay will win or fail.
Okay.
So Thursday, you're going Chiefs money line.
Sure.
Friday, you're going Packers over Eagles in Brazil.
Ooh, I feel a little weird right now. I don't know.
You don't hate
man.
it? You don't like it?
All right. It's fine. I don't love it.
Bright lights for the Eagles early.
Okay.
Then you're going Vikings over Giants.
Yeah!
Then you're going
Giants are bad.
Then you're going Falcons over Steelers.
Yeah!
Yeah, I'm down.
Then finally Texans over Colts.
Where is it at?
Texans at Colts. It's in
Ooh,
a dome.
I feel a little weird right
It's
now.
in a dome.
They're both playing domes.
Either way. So that's Chiefs minus 150, Packers plus 125, Vikings minus 120, Falcons minus 150, Texans minus 140. All that gets you to a plus 1864. Fiver win you $98.
We are salivating.
We are salivating. Hopefully, we will be celebrating. Hopefully, a little 17-0 because you know ball.
Oh man, and you will know if this parlay hit before the afternoon games on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
Because it's Chiefs Thursday, Packers Friday,
and
three noon games.
God damn, dude.
Make sure your red zone's fired up because by the time all those noon games are over, you'll be up $100, baby.
Oh my god, I just got goosebumps, dude. We are literally, what are we, like 4 or 5 days from red zone? Or wow, what? We're 6 days from red zone. Like I didn't know it was
We're
Monday.
3 days from football.
Ooh.
You're gonna be wearing your Chiefs jersey
I've
at
got
work.
legit goosebumps right now, dude.
You'll be wearing your Chiefs jersey at work on Thursday.
Oh, for sure. Oh my god. Oh my.
That's 2 work days away. It's time. K-State just beat the shit out of some small school.
Oh, Thursday night. Oh, Thursday night.
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
It's so back.
Yeah, that's it.
I got goosebumps.
I'm feeling the energy too.
Ooh.
You've hyped me
Ooh,
up.
man.
I'm in there.
Oh, God!
I think I got my swagger back.
If you're listening right now, and we're talking about this, where we're saying, "Oh, you're a couple days away," or Thursday night. Oh my God! If you're not feeling goosebumps, you're just not alive.
My heart's beating a little bit faster.
You ain't a football fan if you don't feel it right now. I can't even. All right,
It's time to fire up that ESPN bet.
it's time. Oh, I can't believe you're an ESPN better, dude.
Well, they got me the smackaroos from the Chiefs Super Bowl.
That's true. Did you just keep it in there?
Yeah.
You didn't take any of that money out? How much money do you have in that account right now, then?
$66.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
I've bled like $34. It's all. It's 100 free smackaroonies to play with. So
I put like $25 in to FanDuel, and I ran that up to like 80 or 90. So that's pretty good. Well, I hit the $5 Nick Castellanos to win $80 bet. That really helped a lot of it. Not gonna
Man,
lie
I
to
can't imagine hitting one bet to win a whole bunch of money.
you. Also from the gambling,
Shout out Jody Fortin, I love you.
So also from the gambling section this year, Owen. I know we've been doing Steen versus Machine in the past. My goal this year is to include you in it.
In the machine?
Yes. No, it's going to be you versus me versus my dad.
Oh.
Steen versus Machine versus bitch. We'll workshop the name.
We gotta find an Ian name. Steen versus Machine versus Owen.
I like that. I do like that. Steen versus Machine versus Owen. So basically, the way we'll do this is we'll like record videos, just a little like short snippet videos, and we'll snip them together and post that onto the Patreon. And I'll probably it'll go up for paid members on Friday. It'll probably release to the public on like Sunday morning. And then, we're just trying to get people over to patreon.com/opendisaster. So that way you guys can do that. And it takes us less time. Like, that was when I was recording Steen vs. Machine, Dahm, That's True, Grub Buds, and Two Fat Guys in Dream. That shit was running me down. So so to do it this year where we're a little less time recording Steen vs. Machine.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the results live on the show.
Oh, that's
So
great.
so you guys will get to hear the results of Steen versus Machine still on here, but Steen versus Machine versus Owen, the picks themselves will go up on Friday. So there you go. And Steamroller's down. He's already in chat.
Man, I don't want to get embarrassed by Steamroller though.
Oh, that's all right.
Steamroller already embarrasses me every time he sees me in public. Do I need to see it?
Well, fuck it. Hey,
I'm gonna have the ball. I'm gonna have to step up. Really, against a professional handicapper, I'm gonna have to step up. That's all it really is,
how about
folks.
instead of playing League or what are you playing?
Betting
right now?
money would honestly be better for my mental health than playing League of Legends. Thank you for helping me with this outlet.
What if instead of League or what are you playing? A lot of CS:GO 2 right now?
Oh yeah, CS2 and Football Manager. So honestly, we're getting better on the mental health. Football Manager really helping me.
Football Manager is.
I got Maidstone to the championship.
Football Manager is like Civ for football nerds.
Yeah,
for soccer nerds.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like Ultimate Team.
Yeah, right. But you don't have to spend money.
It's like those games that you see in your like random one-off elective class where that senior in front of you is like simming a basketball game over and over, and his team is like 151-0.
Yeah, I did get my dad last year. The Machine did win last year.
Oh,
The Machine was positive last year. That's huge. It's hard for anybody to go positive picking 5 games a week every week. So 5 spreads a week.
I can tell you it's hard to pick a 5-team parlay every week.
First week of the season obviously is not a system. But what I was going to say is instead of playing your CSGO 2, your League of Legends, or your Football Manager for like a week or two, make a system, buddy. What if you develop your own system?
I love that, actually.
I know you're a scientific mind, just like mine. You're scientific.
I already know what my system is. I already know. I already know. What do I? There's one metric that I use all the time to determine whether or not a team is good or not.
You would base it off of one metric.
One or two.
Insane.
Mainly basing it off of one metric, and then kind of.
What would be your main metric?
Point spreads.
What about point spreads?
I always say that run differentials matter and point differentials matter in figuring out whether or not a team is actually good.
Okay.
So, for example, a couple years back when the Vikings made the playoffs and their point differential was 0, I think we all knew that they weren't going anywhere.
Right. So you would just bet point differential.
I think
whoever has the better
I would start by doing that, but obviously I can't do that really through like first 4 weeks, so I'd have to choose a different system.
Oh, trust me, I know the machine takes a little bit to get it revving up, but eventually you have those ones where you hit like a 9-0 week and you're like, I'm fucking back.
Yeah,
baby.
so I really like point spreads. But yeah, I think that's a good starting block.
That's the best part about having the machine. I should go in and probably refresh a little bit and retweak it, but at the same time, it did have me positive last year, so maybe I don't need to retweak it or refresh it. But like the best part is that I just have to go in and put in stats, and like it takes me 30 minutes to make the most informed bets that I can.
Yeah.
That's why I love this system.
Beautiful.
So there you go. Okay, so Steam vs. Machine. We'll review the picks on here, but they'll go up on Patreon. Again, they will go live to everybody. If you just go to patreon.com/opendisaster on Sunday mornings, you should be able to see it. They'll go up for paid subscribers on Friday nights is our goal.
There you go. That way you can get your bets in early.
So I just need you to shoot me your picks by Thursday or Friday.
Just
Probably Friday. You probably just won't be able to bet on the
starting
Thursday
this week?
game. Yes.
Okay, there you go.
They'll go up Friday this week.
And it's just like over-unders or just any picks?
It could be over-unders or spreads or money lines, but I will make a bit of a caveat that we're not normally picking big favorites. But you could pick a big favorite, but know that it won't profit you much.
Right. Sure.
Because we do it record, but also mostly profit. You know, it doesn't matter what your record is as long as you make money. I don't care if you're 2-6 as long as you made $500.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
But you can only bet 1 unit per and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I'll look at what my so over-unders, money lines, and spreads is the main one we're looking at. So you wouldn't like player touchdowns?
No.
Okay, sure.
It's just sides, yeah.
Yeah, no,
the
I'm
big
just,
three.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So there you go. All right.
love
Just
it.
want to make sure we covered that for everybody. Owen, got a good top 5 for you this week.
Ooh.
Top 5 Chiefs games this year.
And are we going to restrict this to regular season so we don't have some lame soundbite of like saying the Super Bowl? Because like who would do that for a soundbite?
Yeah, last year.
What?
Famously, Owen definitely didn't say anything about that last year.
I was right. The best game that we watched the Chiefs play was in Allegiant Stadium.
That's fair. That is fair.
And y'all clowned me for that take, and I was correct. That felt so good when we won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, give me just your top 5 of normal Chiefs games this year.
Sure. So just right off the rip, I really do like this this Ravens game coming up. I'm putting that at number 5. I really do think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a really important start to the year. Number 4, this is where I'm putting the Bengals game. Back-to-back weeks, back-to-back really important, high-profile flying games for the Chiefs. Little sneaky one in there. The Browns at my 3 spot, December 15th. I think that is going to be a measuring stick game. I think we're going to basically already know whether or not the Chiefs are good, but it's going to be you need to beat the Browns if you're going to hold our mindset that you are a good team. The number 2 game, I'm just putting this one here because of personal reasons.
Sure, you don't have to.
The Christmas game against the Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah, I need the Chiefs to win this game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be watching that one intently. And the number 1 game to watch for the Chiefs this year, it's got to be the game 4 days earlier than that. It's got to be Texans-Chiefs. Texans, up-and-coming team right now, of course. If we find out that they're terrible, this could move off the list. But this is a preseason list. So, yeah, I think the December 21st game versus the Texans, massive. Huge. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be. It should be the decider. Probably, it could decide a lot of the playoff push or a lot of how you're feeling about the Chiefs going into the playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
And it's also the third to last game of the season.
Yep, it's gonna be really important.
So what is that? Week 16? Oh, dude, you know what'll also be huge for? Fantasy playoffs.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Mahomes going crazy to push you. Push you over the
No,
hump.
I have so many Texans players.
Dude, Mahomes on Christmas. Oh fuck. The Christmas game will be the fantasy championships. Oh God.
That's scary. And then the next week included as well.
No, the next week will be week 18. Nobody does fantasy championships week 18.
That'd be scary. But yeah, so number 5 Ravens, number 4 Bengals, number 3 Browns, number 2 Steelers, and number 1 Texans. So basically, any AFC North game and the Texans.
Yeah. Okay.
I chose every AFC North game. That's wild.
That is wild. All right. Number 5 for me, Black Friday versus the Raiders. I just think it'll be very cool for for the Chiefs to be playing a Black Friday game. Right after Thanksgiving, you go out to the bars with your buddies.
Yeah.
I know we went out to the bars last year on Black Friday, and it was a little more calm than the Wednesday before where everybody fucking goes out.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely
Was that
we'll have
like-
to just get like a big old group together at
Call it Gray Wednesday or something? Isn't there a name for it?
Blackout Wednesday.
Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah, that's Blackout.
Oh, Blackout Wednesday.
Blackout Wednesday. That's what they call it. Yeah, that's what it's been affectionately known as now. But instead of doing Blackout Wednesday, we did just Black Friday because it was a little more calm at the bars.
Sure.
Because we did Blackout Wednesday one year. It also, you're like prepping for Thanksgiving normally on Wednesday, like we are normally, and I know that caused a little bit of strife.
Gotcha.
Going on Wednesday. So, all right. So Black Friday, just fun. Christmas, number 4. I'm with you. I think Christmas games are fun. I think it is fun that the Chiefs might become just the NFL's Christmas team.
Yeah.
Similar to the Cowboys and the Lions get to be the NFL's
Thanksgiving team.
Thanksgiving team. I think it's fun that the Chiefs might become the Christmas
Okay.
team. Number 3, I'm with the Texans. That's where I put the Texans. I think that's a very important game, very exciting, and has the prospect of having a lot of playoff implications. I think
Yeah,
that's
AFC seeding.
week 2 or number 2 against the Raven is week 1 against the Wow, Jesus Christ, where's the
M2 also was 2
week 2 when the Ravens are Ravens Chiefs. Well, oh my God, week 1
Week 1 is
my
your number 2
which
on
is
the
why I'm getting
list.
fucked up. Yeah, week 1 is my number 2. Man, just thinking about it, thinking that we're gonna be watching the Chiefs in 3 days at this time. Yeah, it's 8:30 right now. We'll be deep in the game.
Halftime.
Be coming up on halftime. Yeah, I'm waiting on my. What am I gonna get? Maybe a.
Buffalo wing.
Thinking about being in that prairie fire. I think that burger.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, buffalo sauce on a burger, grilled jalapenos, bacon. Go to Mr. P's, everybody. Oh man. And listen, we normally have a group. We're gonna go to watch a couple more games at home with each other this year, but we normally have if it's a night game, especially this year, we'll be at Mr. P's. Hit us up. We'll save a spot for you. So that was my number 2 is Ravens week 1, and this is why it kept getting confusing because my number 1 is week 2 against the Bengals.
Ah, okay.
Gotta have the Bengals on there. Listen, it's still the Chiefs' greatest rival at this moment. It's the only one who's given the Chiefs a run for their money. Obviously, the Ravens.
And we don't like each other.
Yeah, they're the only ones who have really beat the Chiefs in this run. Like, I don't have much animosity for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're really the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at that time. Right. I hate Tom Brady, but also the Chiefs and it wasn't close because the Chiefs' offensive line was hurt. We've played a couple close playoff games and regular season games that have felt like playoff games against the Bengals.
Yep.
And that's why this rivalry means more than just like the Texans, where I think the Texans are going to be good, but they haven't beat us. The Ravens are going to be good, but they haven't beat us when it matters. So I don't really.
Right.
If the Bengals would have never won that AFC Championship game, I don't think I'd feel the animosity for it that I do. And also losing.
The Bills have never won the AFC Championship game, but we still have that animosity.
Yeah.
Not as much though. You're right. Not as much. Not
Right.
nearly as much.
No, I hate the Bengals way more than I hate the Bills. And at this point, I feel bad for Bills fans. It'll take 2 years for me to start feeling bad for Bengals fans if they if they lose, if Jamar Chase sits out and they lose this game, or T. Higgins leaves and they don't pay him, or they.
I mean, there's
don't
no
get
shade to
paid
our
Jamar
Bengals
Chase
fans'
and-
friends, but
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, that hating somebody else's team that you're also friends with is the best thing in the world. It's the most
is
fun
pretty
thing
fun.
is to talk shit to people that you know for fun. That's the best feeling in the world. That's why
pretty fun.
the NFL is back, baby, and that's why it is. So, so yeah, number 5, Black Friday. Number 4, Christmas. Number 3, that Texans game, December 21st. Number 2, Ravens week 1, and number 1, Bengals week 2.
love it.
There you go. That's the list. All right. That pretty much does it for us. We're going to have a little bit of a pop culture minute. It sounds like Owen's going to give you a little bit of fantasy advice. It sounds like. Before we get too deep into that, I do want to thank the patrons over there at patreon.com/opendisaster. Shout out Aaron, Joe, Skylar, Ozzy, Dylan, and Mailbox Kansas City.
Yep.
Now open the Irish. I think it's $5 to subscribe on the Patreon.
Yep.
And $1, I think, still get, if you subscribe for $1, I think you still get a shout out at the end of the episode. And I think it's $5 for that bonus content that we're talking about, Steam vs. Machine. I've been doing movie reviews. I haven't been doing it the past couple weeks because I honestly haven't seen that many movies. But I've got a couple movies to review here coming up. So
Sure.
the movies I saw last week. So a little bonus content, and we're doing a couple other things. I think we're gonna switch up some things. So there will be more going on the Patreon, but not too much. We just want the Patreon doesn't have to be a requirement. We just want it to be an adder if you'd like to hear us do more things.
Absolutely.
And like I don't want to gum up everything with Steam vs. Machine, so that's why we're moving that over to Patreon, and then we'll recap it really quick here, but we won't do it for too long. So there's that. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. You're listening on Spotify, like, follow. You can comment also on Spotify, and just shoot us a text if you got things you heard on the episode that you want us to break down, or things that you think that maybe we've said in past episodes or even on this episode that would be great for the soundboard. Listen, we're always down to add more things. So
That's the best one by far.
I know. Owen, pop culture minute. I yield the floor to you.
Sure. Okay. So you're in the final 3 rounds of your fantasy draft. You've already drafted a whole bunch of backups and a whole bunch of wide receivers and running backs that you're not going to play.
I know the first one that you're going to say.
Yes, guys, your last 3 picks, okay? This is the order that you should choose, in my opinion. First of the last 3.
Are you? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Last 3 picks in general. So you have 3 spots left on your roster.
Okay, so last 2 are definitely going defense kicker.
That's where I'm different. I think you need to go defense first of the last 3 picks.
Why?
Because of who you're picking second to last and last. Okay? Last is your kicker. Kicker matters least. You can drop a kicker.
Defense matters least. Defense is almost all.
See, I don't think so. Because you can drop a kicker and find a new one. But like, for example, if you pick defense and then this second pick that haven't told you yet, and then kicker, you can get a good defense. Okay? You can get a Pittsburgh. You can get maybe even a 49ers. You can get a Ravens or a Bengals. You can get a good defense. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think you should pick it first of those 3. With the second to last pick, this is where you take your backup tight end. Unless a tight end falls to you inexplicably, you're not going to be putting a new tight end in over your Dalton Kincaid, over your Mark Andrews, over your George Kittle, over your Travis Kelce.
By the way, I want to give you, real quick. I want to give you the top 6 real quick fantasy defenses last year.
Okay.
Tell me.
You want me to give them to you?
Who do you think the best one is?
Dolphins.
Dolphins? Dolphins were number 6. Not even a good defense last year.
Steelers?
Nope, not in the top 6.
For points?
Yes.
Ravens?
Ravens, yes. Ravens were number 2. Sorry for the random water rushing.
Bengals?
Nope.
And
some there's 1 or 2 defenses that are actually good that you would think of. The Browns, the Jets,
the Chiefs,
5 and 4. Nope.
The Jags?
No.
Man, who are they?
Number 3 is the Bills.
The Bills, okay, that makes sense.
Number 2 already the Ravens that we talked about. And number 1, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, Micah Parsons, billion.
No, you know what it was? It wasn't Micah Parsons. You know what it really was?
Deion Branch?
No.
Deron Blanche? Sorry.
Deron Bland.
Bland. Holy cow.
Deron Bland. Yeah, his 6
pick sixes.
Pick sixes really helped. Yeah, or 5 or 6, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, I guess that's a little bit of a sneaky one, but and that's kind of my point is that I don't think getting defense matters because I don't think there's
necessarily we go, I think this is a great defense. I think they're going to score a lot of points.
True.
The Texans, I think, are going to be a top 5 defense, and they are fantasy-wise are rated like 15th or like 20th.
That's true.
I've got the Texans in a lot of leagues because I think the Texans are going to. You have to think about guys that are going to get sacks and guys that are going to get interceptions. But hell, we talked about it. The Dallas Cowboys are number 1 because they had a guy who wasn't even that good get a bunch of pick sixes. He just has incredible ball skills, and he had 5 pick sixes. That's 30 fantasy points for that.
That's true.
And plus, that's honestly probably 35 or 40 fantasy points because an interception is probably worth 1 or 2 also.
That's true.
And
listen. All I'm saying
that's
is
half of their fantasy
all I'm
points
saying
last
is I think you should look into picking a defense or a kicker before your backup tight end.
Okay.
Because your backup tight end is not going to matter.
Okay. Yes, yeah, backup tight end shouldn't matter. Backup tight end always go rookie also, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
Well, you know who I mean, listen.
unless someone crazy falls to you.
I mean, you know who should begin with number 2, backup tight end.
Who?
1, honestly, an actual sleeper that I give you that I think is worth getting, Johnny Smith.
Jonnu? Yeah, you like Jonnu.
He's in Miami. He's going to be catching all those underneath balls for all those speedsters in the Marcus Peters syndrome is the Deron Bland, by the way.
Exactly.
Which
Deron
makes
Bland,
sense.
yes.
So Johnny Smith, also, Ben Sinnott, baby. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Emaw. Can I get an Emaw?
Yeah, I do think he's good.
Go Cats.
Okay.
And I think Zach Ertz will get hurt or just be old.
But yeah, that's my fantasy
fall
advice.
off.
Go against the grain. Defense, backup tight end, kicker.
Gotcha. That's Owen's fantasy advice. And that's the episode. That's it. Shout out everybody for being here. Shout out, again, the Patreons, patreon.com/opendisaster. The patrons over there. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. If you're on Spotify, liking, following, you can comment on Spotify. Again, we're trying to read everything. We're trying to take all suggestions, any questions. We'll talk about it. You want to be heard by your content creator, your content that you're interacting
Your
with.
favorite content
we will
creators?
hear
That's
you.
us.
So, you also want to interact with us, twitch.tv/Steam Machine, tiktok.com/Steam Machine, twitter.com/Steam Machine, twitter.com/OwenGoshDominant.
NFL's back, baby.
See you guys.
Whew.